Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this Chefman Insta Coffee single serve coffee maker. I bought mine off of Amazon for $40. It's got 11,000 ratings and it's number 6 on their best selling single serve coffee makers. And Miss Fiona's going to help me today. Okay, so I just took it out of the box. This has to be the smallest single serve coffee maker I've reviewed. It's very, very small, very lightweight. This would be great for a college dorm or a really small apartment. Measurements about 6 inches front to back. Side to side's almost 4. And with the lid up, yeah, maybe 17. It'll fit under a kitchen cabinet just fine. So let's just look at this. It's got a little, this is like a rubber drip tray. Never seen that. That's nice and sealed right there. So if you get some down in here, it'll be fine. It's kind of a weird drip tray, but it's grippy. Let's check distance for travel mugs. Almost 7.5. Probably 7 1/4. 7 1/4, even though it looks really tall. And if you took that out, maybe then you get it to 7.5. Let's turn it over. Look at the bottom. It's got these 4 rubber feet. This is model number RJ14-UB. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 950 watts. Looks like it's just got this single button here we're going to press. The back of it looks no cord storage. And the cord is 31 inches long. It's just a 2-prong with 1 prong being bigger than the other one. Okay, so let's take a look at where we're going to put the K-cup. You just press this button. It's got a little bit of a spring tension to it. It lifts up. There's a sharp needle there. Be careful. There's kind of the hinge. It's got kind of a springy action. Now, it's not built the best, so be careful. All this hinge area looks a little delicate. Now, we're going to go down here and we got to grab, okay, there's like a handle here, just on this left side. So let's grab this whole basket area. Underneath the basket looks like just a funnel area. So we're going to put the water down here. What is that way down there? Is that up? All right, so there's something way down in there. Huh. It's just a little screen filter is all that is. Just a little screen, and it goes, that's just right there. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This is going to be a reusable filter, like a reusable K-cup. Looks pretty nice. That's a filter. That's like a plastic filter. So here, there's a sharp needle down there. Be careful. That's where you're going to put the K-cup. And again, there's a word that says front, so that's nice. So you're going to put the K-cup in here, and the coffee's going to come out the bottom. Or if you use a reusable K-cup, that's going to go there. So this uses just standard K-cups. They don't have to be made by Keurig. Keurig makes a lot of K-cups, but they can be made by other companies. But this is what they should look like. Got the foil on the top. And you're going to put the K-cup in there. And then it's going to poke a hole in the bottom and the top. Okay, so let's talk about K-cups. K-cups can only hold 2 tablespoons of coffee. That's all they're designed to hold. They can't hold any more than that. And when I brew a K-cup, 8 ounces of water running through a K-cup, it gives me about the right amount of coffee. You might be able to go up to 10 ounces, but 12 ounces, this coffee starts to get really watered down. So even though this coffee maker will run 14 ounces of water through, you still only have 2 tablespoons of coffee in a K-cup. So here's the reusable K-cup. Again, it holds just a little bit less than 2 tablespoons, not quite 2 tablespoons. So again, an 8-ounce brew through there is about all you're going to be able to run through it. So it's a little deceiving. They show you having a big travel mug. They show that, oh, it can run, it can run 14 ounces. Yes, it can run 14 ounces through there, but you're running 14 ounces through a K-cup. That's a lot of water through a K-cup. Now, for some people, it might taste fine. If that's the case, then that's okay. But for me, a typical coffee, 8 ounces tastes about right. Now let's add our water. It does have some measurements. They're really hard to see. See those steps? I've got a really bright light, but they're kind of hard to see. There is no indication on the outside how much water you've put in. Okay, so typically you're going to use whatever container you're going to brew the coffee in. You're going to fill it up with water, and that's what you're going to use to pour back here. But you can see sometimes when you use a glass, it does make a mess. So you might want to buy like a pitcher that's easier to pour into. Now we can see I've got just above the 8 ounces back there. Or no, it's right around the 10 ounce mark, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's brew a coffee, but there's one thing I want to caution you about is this K-cup holder. It can be installed improperly and then your coffee does not brew right. So see how that says front? That arrow, make sure it's pointing towards you. I have installed it with it pointed off to the left, and you think it's going to work, but it doesn't work. So it has to be installed exactly like that. This handle's on the left. See, I had it installed like this, and it kind of made me think it was working, but it definitely did not work. So that, and then it goes down even farther. So then when you close this handle, it's not that big of a struggle. So I've got my water installed. I've got it up to the 10 ounce mark. So you're going to pour the water back here. There are little steps to show you how much water you've got in. I've got right around the 10 ounce, right above the 10 ounce mark. So you're going to take your K-cup and you're going to push it down till it pops. That pokes a hole in the bottom of the K-cup. Now it's nice and flush. Then you're going to take this lid, you're going to close this all the way. It's going to poke a hole in that K-cup. There. It's not too difficult. If this is too difficult, you've got something installed wrong. And you want to make sure you hear that snap. That way that lid's not going to pop open. You've got your water, your K-cup installed. Now simply make sure it's plugged in. You just press this button. Well, make sure you got your cup there. Just press that button. And it kind of turns red. It's not a very loud machine, and it should start brewing really quick, and in 30 seconds, you should have a cup of coffee. Okay, so it starts brewing right away. Temperature coming out of there, 160, 165, so it's ramping up pretty quick. 184, 187. So that's about the max. 187 is about the max I see. Yeah, 188, that's about the max. It's not very loud. I'm not getting a bunch of splatters, maybe just a few splatters around your cabinet. Again, if you use a travel mug, it stays in there. So you could brew 2 K-cups into a travel mug. 2 8-ounce K-cups. And then you get a little bit of gush towards the end. That's kind of how you know it's done. This light's flashing. You hear a pump running, but nothing's coming out. Wait till all that's done. So the light is off and the machine is done. So let's see how hot our cup of coffee is. That's a pretty hot cup of coffee. 162, yeah. Typically I like to see around 165. That's not too bad. 163. And it tastes pretty good. That's a pretty good cup of coffee. Of course, that's a really nice K-cup, a Starbucks breakfast blend. So let's look at cleanup. You're simply going to press this button. It's got a little bit of a spring action to it. It pops open. Again, that can be hot. So you may want to just take that whole thing out or leave that in. Now you shouldn't leave K-cups installed in machines. That's what will clog this needle. So you want to grab the K-cup. And as we look back here, it brewed whatever amount of water you put back here is what it's going to brew. So this is a single button operation. You just push the button. It draws the water down that you put in, heats it up, sends it through the K-cup, and you've got a coffee. Very simple design. Okay, so now let's brew a coffee with the reusable K-cup that it comes with. I'm just going to use some Dunkin' Donuts. This is ground at a medium grind for like just a normal drip coffee maker. This is what you would buy at a store. It doesn't say medium grind, but it just says ground coffee medium roast. There's what a medium grind looks like. Now this Easy Scoop by Perfect Pot is really nice. It holds exactly 2 tablespoons. Again, this one takes a little bit less than 2 tablespoons. And you put the lid over it. That's going to mound up a little bit, and that's okay. You just don't want any on this lip. Don't compact it or anything, just close the lid. And it snaps. You might get a few coffee grounds up there, just dump those out. Now let's make sure there's nothing on the outside. Now let's install it. So again, very important, it's got an arrow. It says front. So we've got to make sure the K-cup holder is in there, make sure it's in there correct. And then we're going to put this in there. And it fits in there just like that. Now let's dump our water in. Again, I find it easier to use like a container with a spout. I'm going to go right up to the 8-ounce mark this time. You're simply going to close the lid. It's going to go on top of there and seal. There, it snaps it. A little, you have to push down just a little bit. And then simply just press the button and it starts. And there comes our coffee out. There's where it comes out. It's kind of a really nice steady stream. Nothing too... And there we go, you get a little bit of last gush at the end. And there's where you get a few splatters around. There's that kind of like water pump sound. That's probably the loudest part towards the end. Now it's done. So there's your cup of coffee. Some people say it tastes a little watered down. I find that it tastes okay. You can definitely save some money. That's about half the cost when you use your own coffee grounds. K-cups can be expensive. There's the drip tray as it's dripping. Let's take a look, see how this did. Again, be careful. All of this can be really hot. You might have to remove this. So the trickiest part is cleanup. So cleanup on these can be a little tricky, but there's the coffee grounds. You got to take this over to your trash can and dump the coffee grounds out. Again, it's really hot, so be careful. And then you got to wash this out. You will get a few coffee grounds down your sink. So it doesn't really say that this is dishwasher safe, but you can see you're going to have to clean this out once in a while. But you can also do freshwater rinses. So you can see things get quite dirty, and you can wash them, but I'm going to show you a little trick. Something you should probably do once in a while. Let's put this back in, make sure we got it right. Put about 6 ounces. The minimum amount of water is 6 ounces. So fill it up to the 6-ounce mark. Don't put a K-cup in here. You can run this without a K-cup. And then just close the lid and just do a brew. You'll be surprised how the water will be discolored. It kind of just gives it a hot freshwater bath in there. See, that water is really discolored. You might see some coffee grounds in there. So again, these freshwater rinses are just easy to do, and you should be doing them about once a week at least. Okay, so let's take a look. You can see, yeah, things are a lot cleaner in there now. There's that. That looks a lot cleaner. And so does that. So it says it has overheat protection. It says the indicator light will blink 13 times as a warning just prior to shutting down. So if you forget to put water in the machine and you press the brew button, it's going to shut down with overheat protection. But the indicator light will come back on solid after about 30 seconds or 2 minutes. It also has a self-cleaning feature. I'm going to show you how to descale it with vinegar. It has a descaling mode we're going to put it in. So if your coffee starts tasting, if it doesn't taste the best and it's not as warm, or if the coffee maker is taking a long time to brew and is super loud, those are all signs it's time to descale with vinegar. So it's very simple to use. It's very lightweight. It's only $40, you know. And it's just, I just can't get over the size of it. That's the big thing. This, if size is an issue, that's going to be your calling. But again, to do a 14-ounce travel mug through one K-cup, you know, it's probably not going to taste the best to you. But you could do two K-cups into this. You'd have to do 2 separate brews. Yeah, because a typical travel mug holds about 14 ounces. I'll put a link to these cups, these glass mugs I used, and this in the show descriptions. I am an Amazon affiliate. If you click on the links, I get a little bit of money from the clicks, but the products don't cost you anymore. I buy all my own products with my own money. So thanks everybody for your support. If you could, please like and subscribe.